America has hit its debt limit, surpassing its $31.4 trillion debt cap. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has notified Congress that she's enacting, quote, extraordinary measures to buy time before the government goes into default. Sky News Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen joins us now for the latest. Annalise, what does this mean for the economy?
Look, it means the US economy is on the brink of what could be some catastrophic economic indicators, but what we've seen now from the Treasury is that they're pulling out the last few things in their arsenal to stop that happening. So technically, the US has hit that debt ceiling, over $31 trillion of debt. That's a legislated amount that usually passed in a bipartisan way where they say, look, we can't borrow any more to pay our obligations, but we're going to lift that anyway so we can. This time, though, it has expired, and the pressure is that things are so close in Congress, especially the House of Representatives. Just 5 Republicans can pull back and all of a sudden there's no deal on the table. So what Treasury's done is they've said, look, we've hit this limit. For the next few months, we're going to be not paying into some funds that we usually would. We're going to move things around to make sure we can keep paying into those really serious obligations, things like Medicare, veterans benefits. But they've said that that has a limit as well. Janet Yellen said that that will expire around June 5. But in the letter she sent to Congress, she also said the period of time that extraordinary measures may last is subject to considerable uncertainty, including the challenge of forecasting the payments and receipts of the US government months into the future. So she's saying that these measures will hold them over, but not necessarily for as long as people think they are. Congress needs to do a deal. Now, the problem is Congress is saying, hey, we want to talk to the White House, see what we can get out of them before we agree to lift anything. And the White House is saying it's not up for negotiation.
This is an issue where waiting doesn't benefit anybody. This is about certainty and stability for the U.S. economy. And so what needs to happen is Congress needs to, again, do what it has done in the past. This is actually not that complicated. This happened 3 times under our predecessor. And there is plenty of space and time to talk about how to continue the progress on the fiscal side as well.
This is going to be the first major test for the new Speaker, Kevin McCarthy. He's already facing pressure to try and get some kind of deal done. Joe Manchin weighed in on this, important centrist Democrat in the Senate, saying that they will get it sorted.
We will pay our debts. We always have, we always will. How messy is going to getting from point A to point B, we don't know yet. But we're going to have to agree that we have a tremendous amount of debt that we're writing checks our kids can't cash. You've got to address it. What generation is going to address it? Is it irresponsible for us?
Yeah. Meanwhile, news just in this morning. Annalise, the Supreme Court has just released an update on its investigation into the leak of the Roe v. Wade decision. Remember that, folks? What have they found?
Well, this has been going for a few months since that decision was leaked. You'll remember this was a huge moment in American history. Roe v. Wade protected advice on accessing abortions, and so that was critical to preventing any kind of restrictions to accessing termination services across the country. With the Conservative bench coming in, it was all but set to be overturned, and there was this huge waiting period in America trying to see when it would happen, what that would mean for women across the country. And so when this was leaked to Politico, it was shocking. They've never had a leak of this severity coming out of the Supreme Court on something so consequential. And the question, of course, is who leaked it. Politico wasn't revealing their sources. This report out today has gone into detail about the lengths that they've gone to try to find this person who leaked the document. Some of the measures included fingerprint analysis on items of interest, looking at a chip in a printer at one employee's home. But ultimately, they've said that as bad as this leak was, as much as it's changed how the Supreme Court's going to work into the future, they still don't know who did it.
Annalise Nielsen, thank you.